Okay, hi everyone. So in my experiment we're going to be looking at the digestive system. Now this is a really fun experiment that my class loved this year, so if you want to get involved and do it alongside, please do, and I'll show you exactly what you need. Okay, so you are going to need a plate and some cutlery. You're also going to need some crackers and some food. So usually you can go for a banana, but unfortunately the last banana in my house got eaten this morning, so I'm going with a mini roll. Then you're going to need a tray of some kind. So it could be a bowl, it could be a tray, whatever you can pour something into. You're then going to need a cup of orange juice and a cup of water. And then you're going to need 3 cups, one that hasn't got a hole in, one that's got a big hole in, and one that's got a little hole in. And then finally, you need a bag. You can have a Ziploc bag, or you can have one that does up like this, just as long as you can keep the mixture that you make inside it. And then lastly, you need a tights, or a leg of a tights rather, that you can cut off so that you can put things in it. Okay, so if we're starting our digestive system experiment, we need to start where we would start if we were digesting something, and that would be eating it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the cracker, nice, and I'm going to take the mini roll and I'm going to put them onto my plate. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to use my knife and fork, and they're going to act as my teeth. So they will crush and cut and tear the food like our incisors, canines and molars would. So I'm going to get it nice and broken up, because we wouldn't be able to eat our food without chewing it, because we might choke and that would be really dangerous. So these are my teeth, cutting up my food, making it easier for me to swallow. Alright, so I'm going to put my knife and fork out the way, my teeth are done with. So this is what I've got so far. It's still a little bit big for me to swallow, but for the purpose of our experiment, that would do just fine. Okay, what I'm going to do next then is I'm going to take my bag. Now this bag represents our stomach. It's where our food goes once it's been swallowed. So I don't have anything to represent the esophagus, but we can just simply take our food, put it in our bag, that's our stomach, because that was where it would end up once it's been swallowed. Okay. Now, year 4 will know, and anyone that's done this experiment before, that that's not all that's in your stomach. So we need to add our orange juice, which acts as our stomach acid. And then we've got our water, which acts as saliva. Oh, a lovely mixture we've got going there now. Okay, so then you're going to tie the bag up, make it so that none of this lovely mixture can get out. And then what we're going to do is I'm just going to let a bit of that air out. It's going to make it easier for me to do the action of the stomach. Alright, so let's get all that air out, tie it up again nice and tight. Then what happens in the stomach is that it squeezes and it mushes up all of the food using the stomach acid and using the saliva, which breaks it down and makes this lovely mixture within our stomachs. So this is where it gets a little bit gross and a little bit exciting. So you can see that all of my cracker, all of my mini roll, my lovely sweet treat has been broken down, and I've just got this nice liquid mixture now. All right. So this is where it gets a little bit messy, and you might want to ask a grown-up to help you. So we're going to take our container, be it your bowl, your tray, whatever it is, and that's going to be our body. Okay. So you're going to take your cup that has a big hole in it. We are going to put that within the top of the tights. So we've got this nice little foot bit at the end. We want to put the cup just here at the top. Okay. Now if you're doing it with someone else, you don't need this part. You could just ask them to hold it open for you while you pour. But because I'm doing it on my own, I'm going to use this to help me put my mixture into the tights. Okay, now the tights, this acts as our small intestine. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pop that in my tray. And then my lovely yummy mixture that I've got here, I'm going to use my scissors. I'm going to do it with all the mixture at the other side first, otherwise I'm going to make a big mess. And I'm going to cut a hole in the bag. Now be careful when you're doing this and make sure you do it over your body container, all right? Then what I'm going to do next is I'm going to have all this lovely food that's been broken down and mushed up by the stomach and all the muscles inside and the saliva and the stomach acid, I'm going to take this whole and I'm going to pour all the mixture into the cup so it goes into my small intestines, my tights. Oh, I've got a bit of a leftovery part here. All right, now I'm going to put this out the way because it's gross. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up my small intestine, and all the food that was in the stomach has now gone inside it. Okay, now you can see that some of the liquid is coming out. Now what that is it's the good things that the body can take. It's all the nutrients, it's all the things that help us grow. They go through your small intestine and it filters it out so that you only get all the goodness. You get all the nutrients that your body needs for energy, that it needs to grow. Oh, I've just squirted it everywhere, it's disgusting. So what you're left with then, once we've moved it all down to the bottom, is this little solid part. Okay, now this is the waste that the body doesn't need. So we've got all this lovely nutrients, all these lovely bits of energy that are going to help us. What's left is the waste that the body can't digest, that it doesn't need. Okay, so what we're going to do with that next is we're going to put it into the cup that has a little hole in it. Okay, now this is our large intestine. Once our waste ends up in the large intestine, so I'm going to pop that through. I'm going to cut a hole in my tights and it's going to be gross. And I'm making a bit of a mess. Try not to make as much of a mess as me. So I'm going to get all this lovely waste. I'm going to get it out into my cup that has the little hole in it, but try not to move it too much because you don't want it to go through that hole at the bottom just yet. So just plonk it in there. Lovely. Ooh, gross. All that mixture. Ugh. Okay, so I'm going to put my small intestine down somewhere. Now I've got all of this lovely waste in my cup. Okay, now when it's in the large intestine, what we're going to do next is we're going to use our other cup to push the waste through. And now what this does, and it's not working very well for me unfortunately, this mimics the act of going to the toilet. So what's coming through here is what comes out of you when you go to the toilet. Now mine's not working very well, but if you've got enough in there, it will push through and you'll have a nice little bit of poo in your tray. All right, and that's the digestive system. That's how we get from our mouths to our bottoms. Hope you enjoyed.